Hello, I'm going to be talking to you about an incident in Oxford Street which I found particularly disturbing. Not so much because of the incident itself. There are racist incidents all over the country all the time. You always get oafs who act badly and should be dealt with. I'm not saying none of them should be dealt with, but what I am saying that, you get people like that. That's nasty, but it's not deeply disturbing. What's deeply disturbing is this report of it here by the BBC, which, could almost say it breaks my heart. Because, well, as you know, I used to work for the BBC, and when I went to work for them, I did it because I really believed in their mission of advertising free, good reporting and quality programmes. Okay, I'm naive. But I have always been slightly idealistic. And then later on, since I started going into these things more deeply and making YouTube videos, I have believed in the BBC's honesty less and less. But until now, I have not thought of them actually pushing an anti-Semitic programme, and this is what they appear to be doing. But before I do that, I'm going to talk to you about a phenomenon called audio pareidolia. I think I got that right. And I just want to point out to you the problem of actually hearing things, because sometimes you hear what you want to hear or what you've been primed to hear. So to help me, I'm going to enlist these two charming assistants, Demi 1 and Demi 2. I want you to watch them very closely. I know some people just listen to my videos. This time I want you to stop what you're doing and look at the screen and look at Demi 1 and concentrate very carefully on what she's saying. Okay, take it away, Demi 1. Bar, 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 bar. Right. And I hope you all got that she was saying bar, bar, bar. Now, let's go to Demi 2. Watch her very carefully, listen very carefully what she's saying. Bar, 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 bar. Many of you will have heard her saying far, far, far. She wasn't. I had substituted the bar, bar, bar soundtrack. She was saying far, 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 but I've swapped soundtracks. And those of you who heard her say far, 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 what was going on? Your brain saw the f sound and on her mouth, and you were, that's what you were hearing. Now, this is one of those little exercises that shows you that you can't always trust what you hear. And now let's get on with this report in the BBC, okay? Oxford Street, images issued after men filmed spitting at Jews on bus. Apparently the kids were in this open-top bus, which was a private hire, and they were celebrating Hanukkah, and they'd got out the bus. Hanukkah is a Jewish holiday around Christmas time, really, and donuts are a traditional food, and these kids were dancing, having sort of, what do you call them, round dances, and then handing out donuts to passers-by, and then they found themselves being harassed by this group. They were told to get back on the bus, and then this happened. Images have been released of 3 men police want to speak to about allegations of anti-Semitic abuse directed at Jewish passengers on a bus. A group was filmed approaching the privately hired bus on Oxford Street in central London on Monday. Footage shows men spitting at the bus and apparently abusing passengers. Now, I just want you to look at this. Apparently they were abusing passengers. I shall now play you the video. I'd say this was more than apparent, wouldn't you? I'm playing you the actual video. On the BBC website, they have blurred out the faces of these guys. I'll show you, I'll take a short clip of the blurring out so you can see. Now you see that hand sign? That looks to me like the Rabia, which is a Muslim Brotherhood code sign. Persistent little bugger, isn't he? Okay, so that's the video. Now, that's not apparently, that is abuse. But the BBC website felt it had to dilute it. The reporter is a guy called Harry Farley, and more of him in a minute. Then right at the bottom it says here, a slur about Muslims can also be heard from inside the bus. As a matter of fact, there was no slur about Muslims. I've heard the recording. There's a girl shouting "Yalla Yalla," which is used. She is used in Hebrew. It's actually Arabic, and it means move. You know, get on, get out the way, let's go. That sort of meaning to it. So she was obviously very worried about the situation. She wanted the bus driver to move, but the bus wasn't moving, no doubt because of traffic. And then there was somebody else who said something else which I don't hear. I've played it a few times. They say it's again in Hebrew, and there's a male voice saying, call somebody, this is serious, or this is urgent, and that's it. So Harry Farley either made up this slur about Muslims thing, or that's what he heard. Now, that's what he heard because he was quite disgusted at the behaviour of these Muslims, or he didn't like Jews and felt he had to make up a story to stop them from being totally innocent victims. I cannot say. But one way or the other, it doesn't say much about Harry Farley. Now, a few Jewish organisations have pointed all of this out. And the BBC, now you see this here, it says a slur about Muslims. Originally, Harry Farley's report was there several slurs about Muslims can be heard. So that's really strong. And then when this was drawn to the attention of the BBC, they changed it. But they haven't completely deleted it. I'm cutting this in because there's something I realised. I was looking at this BBC version of the video, the one in which they've blurred out the faces, and there are a couple of beeps there as if there's bad language. And at first I thought it was the language that they were saying, those guys outside the bus. But no, it's because the reporter has said that there was bad language coming from inside the bus. So they put those beeps there to imply that the people in the bus were hurling abuse at the people outside. You saw the video before, so you know that no such thing happened, but the BBC actually interfered with this video to make it look like that. That is truly disgraceful. All right, well, I'm going to cut this in somewhere to the video. That's what disturbs me most about all of this. This is the BBC, and this is what they've done. They are actually pushing an anti-Semitic agenda. And perhaps they're giving a pass to Harry Farley, who is himself anti-Muslim, because he heard something about Muslims there, something like filthy Muslims, I think he thought he'd heard. And that's probably what was going through his mind. It certainly wasn't going through the minds of the kids, because they never said it, but he did. Or he was trying to whip up some sort of negative feeling against Jews. One way or the other, this Harry Farley is not a very nice person. And one way or the other, the BBC, well, they need to be closed down, don't they, if they're going to do this sort of thing. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Graniopteryx design or Grambo, with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.graniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.